ML Nation, this is Simon Chan, and I'm fired up for our special guest today. She is a legend, and this is the second time on the show. We have Margie Aliprandi. Hey, Margie,
Woo!
are you ready to make it happen?
Hi, Simon. Yes, I'm so ready. I love you.
Margie Aliprandi is an author, international speaker, and trainer, and a legend in the network marketing industry. When she began her networking career, she was a music teacher and struggling single mom. She's achieved a 5-figure monthly income within a year and became a millionaire within 3 years. And today she's one of the top 1% of network marketing producers worldwide. Margie's story has been featured in movies, Pass It On Today, and Go For No, and in numerous books and publications, including Think and Grow Rich for Women. She's also the mother of 4 children, Sean, Nicole, Todd, and Ashley, 6 grandkids, and splits her time between Salt Lake City, San Diego, and Colorado with her husband, Ray. Margie, like I said, first appeared on ML Nation episode 491, so you can go there and listen back to her full story and lessons. And today, we're going to do something special. We're going to find out what's happened since we last had her on the show. So, Margie, welcome. So why don't we flashback? You look as young as ever, but when did you get started in network marketing? Well, I know it's a while ago. And how did you get started?
How did I get started? Why did I get started? Well, I was at a crossroads and really trying to decide whether I wanted to go back to teaching school, and feeling conflicted because I didn't want to leave my kids at home. I didn't want to miss their growing up years. And so as this story goes, I had tentatively signed a teaching contract to go back to teaching junior high school music. But a few weeks before school started, I happened upon the very company that I have now been with for almost 31 years, if you can believe it. Started when I was 6. Anyway, so it just, it captured my heart. I was gripped with a vision of what was possible. And as soon as that happened, I just canceled. I didn't know much about what I was doing, but I canceled my teaching contract and jumped in with both feet. And it became the answer that I was seeking on so many levels, letting me be home with my kids, letting me make more money than I would have ever dreamt possible. It's given me a platform to give back. It lets me help people to personally develop, which is my greatest love, to see people step into their greatness and their excellence. And we all know that network marketing and direct sales is an absolute platform for that. So it's just been so compensating in so many ways. And when I started, my kids were 5, 4, and 2 years of age. They are now 37, 36, 34, and 27. And I really get that 60,000 foot view of what the results of a true legacy, a true network marketing legacy can be, as I see the lives of these children, and they're blessing me now with grandchildren. And I see how their observation of an entrepreneurial mom impacted who they are today. And I'm just, no words, really, just so grateful.
Yeah, that's awesome. I always share that I have 3 beliefs. Network marketing allows us to fulfill unlimited potential. Network marketing allows us to give back more. And also network marketing allows us to be better parents, most importantly.
Yes.
Right?
Yes. No question. Because we have to figure out how to deal with people on our team that we might not pick sometimes, right? And it teaches us to be softer and to open up, and right. So it teaches us so many skills that we can bring to bear at home, and tenacity and resilience, and all those things that we learn that it makes us better parents. You're right. I've never heard anyone say that, and I love it.
Well, we're going to talk about the other belief in a little bit, about giving back more. But I remember our first show, and I highly recommend you listeners out there, check it out, 491. Margie shares her full story there. But I remember, and it's a pretty incredible story because I've done like 600 interviews. But I remember this one that you shared. Like, you were going to a meeting, I think it was maybe San Diego, and you barely had enough money to put for gas, and you went to the gas station to make yourself look good, and you're supposed to tell people how great a business you're in, right? And you have that huge why, but you made it. But why do most people, you've come across millions of people now, a lot of people struggle in network marketing. Why?
I think the number one thing is just our penchant or our desire as people for immediate gratification. That's that's by far the biggest problem. People quit too soon. I mean, I've got so many years under my belt now. I can see places in my downline printout where if somebody had just stayed around, right, like bought the occasional tube of toothpaste or whatever, just stayed, they're really positioned to maybe now be making $10,000, and they left too soon, right? Like I've seen that over and over again. And so it's our inability, I think, to plant a seed today and have the patience and the continued consistency to let that seed come to let the seeds come to germination and gestation. That it's the inability to delay gratification. To put it in simple words, people quit too soon. They never plant their flag deep enough. They get distracted by the newest, latest, greatest, and they quit too soon is number one. And then the other thing is that people don't trust themselves enough, Simon. What I know is that when somebody says yes to network marketing, most of the time it's because something got lit up inside of them. They either got so passionately engaged about a product that made a difference for them, or something about what's possible for them lit up inside of them. They got hope, and they had stuff bubbling up that they hadn't felt in a long time, right? And then they get in and people start naysaying them, or a few people say no, and it's never about you when people say no. And so they don't trust themselves enough. They don't know what they know, and they get derailed by the opinions of others because they don't stay anchored to what they know to be true and just pursue their dreams with an attitude of service, letting the chips fall where they may. That's how to overcome that. So I would say the desire for immediate gratification and quitting too soon, and then not trusting themselves enough, is why most people don't succeed. I mean, and occasionally, let's just say this, occasionally it's a sucky company with a sucky plan or something like that, right? That happens too. And so it's not always the person's fault, but those are the two main things that are in our control, I think, Simon.
But even if you're a sucky company, you stay in there. If you can build it once
Right.
in somewhere, you can build it again.
Right. You weather it. If it has the elements, you weather it with that company.
You mentioned about consistency. How important is consistency to success?
It's everything. It's everything, because you can't really have success until you're consistent. Because if you just kind of flare into your business and you're all excited one day and then you disappear, if you've enrolled people, first of all, you can't lead them and help them to be successful. And it's the consistency that people watch you and they're like, wow, she's got something or he's got something. It's when people are inconsistent, also it eats up so much energy because they never get that fuel that comes from momentum, right? We talk about company momentum, but equally important is personal momentum. There are people that are in a company that goes through momentum. They watch it come and go because they never got their personal momentum. And so what happens with consistency is they get their personal momentum. And if they're stopping, then it's like having to have the plane to take off every time, like land the plane, have it take off, land the plane, have it take off. Like keep your plane in the freaking air so that you don't have to, constantly be just drumming up all this fuel to keep going. And so consistency is everything. Plus your skill set improves, your belief improves, just all of that. You attract more people because you now are the brand, right? Like I always say, there's the day that you get into network marketing and there's the day that it gets into you. And there comes a time when it is, and I'll speak in the first person. What it is for me now is it's a platform to serve. And so it is who I am. I can't not share my products. I can't not share the business. It's not something I do. It's become who I am. It's my method of serving the planet. One of my methods for serving the planet, I guess I should say.
I like what you said about I think it's the plane. I read somewhere where like a plane uses majority of its fuel when it takes off, right? So I think this is great. You said you never get momentum because every time you start 1 or 2 days, you used up a lot of fuel, and then you never get any. You have to start from scratch again, and then you're
Yeah.
wondering why you're burnt out and tired and discouraged because you're killing off your fuel.
Yeah.
Really, really good analogy. And you mentioned service a couple of times. Your attitude to serve will help you stay consistent. You're always talking about, you like to serve, like you got to share your products and service because you're helping people. And it goes right back to what I talked about, my 3 beliefs. It allows us to fulfill unlimited potential, allows us to give back more, allows us to be better parents. Talk about giving. And especially what you've been, so someone like you've made the millions. What keeps you going nowadays? Like, why do you see, because I see you traveling, you're also working, you're speaking. What drives you, Margie?
All right. So I got to say, it's important from time to time to revisit your why, right? Like my why to build my business was to give my kids a better life and to be an example to them. And still today, Simon, like one of my driving whys is I want to make them proud. I want my kids to look at me in my business, doing what I'm doing in the world and say, look how 60 looks, right? That's how 60 can look. So I'm still driven by that same why to have my children be proud of me and to impact their lives and my grandchildren's lives. Legacy is so big. But my why morphed, I got chills just talking about this. My why morphed a little bit 5 years ago. Myself and a few other network marketing leaders, iconic leaders, read a book called Half the Sky. Have you read it or have you seen that documentary? Maybe we can put the information down here so people can take a look at it. But it was so disturbing, you guys. It's about the marginalization of women globally, particularly in developing nations. And it was so thick and heavy that my immediate response was, this is such a big problem. Nobody can do anything about it. Like, it's so protracted. And in these areas where women are treated in certain ways, it's so entrenched. It's throughout. It's like, how can anybody do anything about it? And a couple of weeks later, I was sitting in a workshop and we were doing some vision work. And I started writing my vision. I know my vision. I know my why. Like, I've been doing it for all these years. And all of a sudden, I just got this whoosh of a download and I started crying. And the words that came into my mind is, you can make a difference. Like about this women empowerment thing, you can make a difference. And the words that were given me in that moment were, Margie K, if you just move the needle a little bit with the years that you have left, your life will be well lived. And so first off, we got these like 3 women together that had read the book. We decided we are going to do something. The first thing we were doing is we didn't want to be the charity. We didn't want to create a philanthropic organization. We wanted to find somebody that we could trust that had a global reach, that could take a few of our dollars and create huge benefit on the other side. Like, that's a tall order, right? And I'm so suspicious of charitable organizations because I know some that are so top heavy that the principles of those organizations, like the amount of money that actually gets to the people in need, is so small sometimes. So I'm just suspicious, right, of all of it. And so we found the perfect partner to align with in a company called PCI that has been around for 59 years. I mean, I got a little, they're in 33 countries. They've served 12 million people. They are in Africa. They are Bill and Melinda Gates' preferred philanthropy. They work with them really closely. They've got infrastructure. But what we fell in love with is their Women Empowered program. Have you heard of Kiva? Do you know what Kiva is?
Yes.
Like these lending organizations that give women and I guess men, but mainly women, the chance to borrow a little money and then start a micro business and then pay it back out of profits, right? So this organization, PCI, and incidentally, like 89 cents, 90 cents of every dollar goes to the people of need. And they are they allow to be publicly viewed so that you can see the way that they audit all of their processes and programs so that they are showing tangible results. And then I got to say, all of those numbers aside, because they're impressive, we went to Guatemala and we saw firsthand the results of our donations. I'll get to that in a minute, but first I want to say their Women Empowered program For $50, Simon, $50, it puts one woman in, a developing nation, typically a developing nation, through an 18-month program that teaches them nutrition sciences, leadership skills, how to contribute in a community. And 15 to 25 women come together. Guess what? They establish their own Kiva group. They become their own like savings and loan. They create funds. And there are right now across the globe 120,000 of these small, self-funded, self-organized, self-sustained, self-initiated Kiva-like programs amongst these women, 120,000, and they've raised $6 million, 25 cents at a time. So they come together. Now they've got this education that makes them more confident. They're now having an economic force, right? They can invest in their communities, their families. Tell you what, when women get economic power, they direct it differently. Nothing. Men do great things too, but women, they invest in communities, they invest in their families, they invest in education. So these women now come together and they're blessing their communities. Guess what happens in the home where typically there is domestic violence? When now all of a sudden the woman is an economic contributor, guess what happens? Domestic violence goes to zero because the woman now is adding economic value and she's holding her head high. The ripple effect, we've seen this firsthand, the ripple effect into the children's lives as they they start their own kids programs of uniting in communities to keep their neighborhoods. El Barrio was one of their programs, keeping their neighborhood safe, and they have a teenage watch, and they come together and they read books, and they teach them everything from nutrition sciences to how to start a micro business. This is a classic example of not giving a man or a woman a fish, but teaching her to fish. And the ripple effect, honey, is extraordinary. And here's why I think, well, one, I'm so happy that you asked me this question because we're getting toward the end of the year. And we have some really ambitious goals. And people are sometimes looking for tax deductible kind of places to put their money for tax benefit right here at the end of the year. Simon, on Giving Tuesday, we set a goal to do in one single day with the women. We've got top network marketing women from every single company that have come together. We are a coalition of women who have linked arms. We're taking the Dalai Lama statement that the Western woman shall change the world. We're taking it personally. And we are network marketing and direct sales women who have come together as a coalition of women to change the world. And our platform is this. So on Giving Tuesday, we had a goal to raise $20,000. We closed out the day with $18,000. But as the efforts we put in from that Tuesday continue to come through, and we got some big donations. Marina Moray and Eric gave $5,000, and more big donations came through. Lisa Grossman, $1,500. Rita Davenport, $1,500. And some of these bigger donations started coming through. Honey, we ended at $26,000. We crushed our goal. And so what I know, because I've seen it firsthand, is that $50, these are not words, I've experienced it, looked into their big brown eyes as tears come out of their eyes and they say, thank you, we will never let you down. And I see the confidence, how they stand with head held high, how they speak with passion, even though I don't understand their Spanish words, but I see who they are. $50 transforms one woman's life. Empower women. Yes, you can help orphanages. Yes, you can feed children. Yes, there are so many worthy and they're all wonderful, but this isn't a charity. This isn't a cause. This is a movement. And when you help a woman stand tall and step into her excellence, that's when you really change the world. And so that's what this is about. And what's so beautiful about it is it's network marketing women. So how perfect that you're bringing me to share a little about this on MLM Nation, right? So we have our roots in network marketing and direct sales. We are paying it forward for the way that this business has blessed our lives to women who don't have as abundant of opportunities as we do. And then the other piece that we love is leverage, right? The reason we do network marketing is to create a leveraged income. Guys, this is leverage. We give $50, a life changes. And the ripple effect of that, we may never know. That is leverage. That's like turnkey philanthropy because the platform's created and it's all across the globe. And it's just, anyway, so Women United for Change is who we are. Can I tell people how to find us?
Yeah, sure. We'll put the link on the show notes
Okay.
page. So just go to mlmnation.com and just go to the podcast, and you see Margie Aliprandi. You see our previous
Yes.
episode and this current episode, 585, and we'll put a link there. And I think the thing
Can
that
we do the funding link, and then also find us on Facebook, Women United for Change, the movement. If this resonates with you and you like the idea of making a difference in the world together, then find us and make a request to be a part of that Facebook group, and we'll add you. What were you going to say, honey? What were you going to say?
No, it's the reason I did this. I think it was just so cool. Like I shared, like network marketing allows us to give back more. Right. So every top leader, when Taylor Thompson reached out to me about it, I was like, yes, let's do this.
Yes,
I love
Simon, you donated. You made a big donation.
Yeah,
yes,
it's because it's about like giving back. It's not just about, and some of you listening, if you can do $50, great. Even if you do like $1, because here's the thing, right? That when I was watching the video, like how many millions of women in these countries don't have any education at all.
Right.
And that's why they're going through all that domestic abuse. There's no respect. They're put down. They have no say. They have zero education. And even for like $50, every penny counts. But $50 changes lives. And now that because of the phones, they were equipping these women, teaching them how to do local commerce, to do something, empowering women. We're making a difference, which is really, really cool. So MLM Nation, highly encourage you, give back. And I always talk about in my trainings, be a person of value, right? Like the more you give back, the more you get back. Even if you definitely get it back monetarily, some way, the universe, God makes it happen. But also when you give, you feel better about yourself. You're just happier. I mean, giving, I always give because it makes selfishly, it makes me happier. Know that I actually did something. So I think this is a great cause. All these leaders like you, Margie, and especially network marketing, and so much women out there that we're making a difference. Because I mean, in U.S. maybe we have some equality, but in some of those other countries, it's really, really sad. And it's just amazing what every small contribution can do.
It does. And like $25 twice changes a woman's life. $10 5 times changes a woman's life. And so when you go to the funding link, and you have it because of your donation, which I was so excited when I saw Simon Chan donated. I'm like, oh my gosh, maybe he'll help. Maybe he'll help us be a voice to reach out to other women who want to be a part of something worthwhile. And the cool thing is, here we come together, like some of these top women in various companies, and it's not just top women, it's everybody, everybody, like it's all women coming together. But the chances of us ever being in the same company is not great. We're in our companies, we found the business we love, but this lets us come together and do something truly worthwhile and make a difference together. So I just love you. I appreciate what you do, and for the way that you have just leveled up the whole perspective of network marketing. Simon, you've done such great things for our profession of elevating people's opinion of what network marketing is. And I just thank you. I thank you for having me on as your guest. I love you as a friend and just appreciate everything that you're doing.
Well, thank you for the kind words. And this ML Nation, we're talking about lifting up the profession. Talking about my missions to help 1,000 people earn extra $1,000 a month, right? Part-time. And this is another way to elevate and lift up the profession. Think of like we all have our negative friends, family, right? Prospects. But think that this is something, network marketing is not just about making the money. It's about changing lives. So that's why I wanted Margie to share her vision and what she's doing. So anyway, we will keep the link on the show notes page. Highly encourage you to go out there, check it out, even watch the video. If you're not, just learn. I mean, even just learn to see what, sometimes we're in a bubble. See what other women are going through. I mean, I just showed that video to my son. Like, this is how other people live in other countries. They were shocked. Go watch that and look at how you can make a difference. So thank you, Margie, for sharing that. As we wrap up the show, some quick questions. We want to pick your multi-million-dollar brain here. Okay, and these are going to be quick answers.
Okay.
The first one is, what is one of your favorite success quotes that motivates you?
Oh my gosh. Well, so many. I like in any moment of decision, the best thing you can do is the right thing. The next best thing you can do is the wrong thing. And the worst thing you can do is nothing. I love that. And then whose quote is it?
That is so good. In any moment, the first decision is the best thing. Second decision is the wrong thing. No decision
Yeah,
is the worst thing. That's
action. Yeah. In
action.
any moment of decision, the best thing you can do is the right thing. The next best thing you can do is the wrong thing, because at least you're in action and you will learn. You'll get feedback. If it's the wrong thing, you'll go, okay, well, that doesn't work. So, and the worst thing you can do is nothing is a favorite quote. And then is it, who is it that, for once you have tasted flight, you will forever walk with your eyes turned skyward. For there you have been, and there you will always long to return. I absolutely love that. I love W. Clement Stone. There are lots and lots. Think and Grow Rich. Like, I love a lot of quotes also from Wallace Wattles' Science of Getting Rich. So,
Awesome.
yeah,
What is
yeah.
one habit? I mean, over the years, what's one habit, Margie, that's helped you become successful?
I know it sounds simple, but doing something for your business every day, and don't let one day pass without prospecting. Talk to somebody about your business. It doesn't mean you have to follow up with them that day and get them in your business the following day, but always be talking about your seeds, always opening conversations about your product. So just to keep your contribution going in the world. Yeah, I'm going to say that.
What is the best piece of advice you ever received?
Never quit on a bad day.
Never quit on the body. Yes.
I mean, that's it. Let's see. What is the best? I learned, Simon, really early on that persistence pays. And so maybe my favorite word as it relates to this profession, of course, my favorite word is love, but my favorite word as it relates to this profession is resilience. And so any words that I heard around, there is a sowing season and a reaping season. They're not in the same season. Don't expect that you can plant a garden today and reap a giant harvest. Don't expect you can plant one seed and have a giant crop. Like, you have to be planting. So anything that had to do, I really internalized and resonated with any concepts like that. Like, be prepared to go the distance. Don't quit too soon, right? I'm kind of back to where I started.
That's
People
so
quit
good.
too soon. Trust yourself, trust yourself. And then think in terms of really serving people and leaving a legacy. If people are stuck in their own head and concerned about how they will be perceived or what people will think about them, the business will always be hard. If you shift it so that you're really in a place of service, like you wake up and say, who can I serve today? Let them cross my path. Bring them to me. Bring them to my mind. Help me know who I can serve today. And you go with that attitude, then it's not about you. It's not on your agenda. Then you really are in a place of service, and it takes any pain of rejection out of this business. You can't be rejected when you're serving.
That's so good.
Right? So serve.
Love it. And I love the sowing. You cannot sow and reap in the same season. That goes
Yeah.
back to the delayed gratification. Very, very good.
Yeah.
Do you have a favorite, I guess, if someone's interested in the products, what's your favorite prospecting tool? You send them a video? What do you do, Zoom?
Yes, I like short videos still. Tag them in probably something that, probably tag them in something on Facebook.
Cool.
Add them to a group, tag them in some information, and usually it's a video. Sometimes it's before and afters, depending on like if they're just really looking to see visibly the result, and just kind of depends on the person if they want a video that's a little more sciencey or a video that's a little bit more emotional and benefit based.
What is your favorite app on your phone?
I use Notes like crazy. So I create my posts in there. I take notes for everything in there. I have anything I use at my fingertips for my business. I have all the links right there. I mean, I just use it to create content. If somebody took my notes section from me, I would just die. So that is my favorite app. I love, iMessage and Messenger and Facebook and, things that keep me connected to people and communicating with people. But I use that notes section a lot. to save things. And yeah.
Yeah, me too. Ever since I used to use a lot of different things, but ever since they updated the last couple of new iPhone updates, the notes has gotten really good. It's really, really good.
Yeah.
And I like the checklist mark. You check things off too.
Checklist, and you can dictate
Yes.
into it. Like when I'm listening to a book on tape, an Audible book. I don't know if you've tried this before, but you can literally, if you have your notes section ready, you can click on notes, click on the dictation, and say the words. It will get all of your words. Like if you just want to repeat a statement you just heard, as soon as you let go of that button, it goes right back to your book.
That's cool. You
So
what?
you can take notes on your books as you're listening. I just love it. I like notes.
There's no excuse for not successful. It's so easy. You know what? When I'm working out, if I'm jogging, I have an idea. I use the notes. Right?
Yes.
I just note it because when you finish running, you're gonna forget it. It's an easy way to jot it down.
Yeah, that's right. I love you.
Hey, what is one or two books you could recommend? Actually, the better question, because you recommended some good books last time, and you mentioned, Science of Getting Rich and Think and Grow Rich. What's the best book you've read since we last talked about a year ago?
I have probably read about 15 books. I can tell you what I'm taking. I'm on my way
listen to it. Or what do you listen to? What's the
I
favorite
listen
book?
to. Okay, so I really like the Joe Dispenza, Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself. I'm taking that with me. Also, there's a book called Focusing, and it's about body awareness. And for somebody who spends a lot of time in their head, which I do, I'm always creating in my head. It's wonderful to sink down into the body sometime and to get a body sense and feel and, just get, so it's called Focusing, and it's about, body focus. I'm taking that. I like Melody Beatty's Journey to the Heart. I'm on my way to Santiago, Chile today for a mileage run to keep my Delta status. I don't want to lose my diamond status. So I'm flying to Chile by myself, and I'm going to use it to contemplate what other books am I taking. I'm taking a couple of others. So I'm just taking a few inspirational books. I love the War of the War of Art.
The War of Art by Stephen Pressfield.
Yeah. I think, I love that. That's sitting upstairs. I think I also grabbed The 7 Laws of Spiritual Success by Deepak Chopra. I really love that. I'm just taking several books with me and my journal, and I'm going to make it a time of reflection and contemplation. Baby, we're beginning a new decade. We're going to crash. We're going to crash. We're just getting started.
Yes, I love it. You're going to have a heavy suitcase with all those books.
I know. I'm just taking books and journal and a few swimming suits. So the books will be heavy.
Hey, it's been awesome to have you on the show. Here's the last question. The $1 million question. You ready?
Is it hard?
Here's the $1 million question. It would be a piece of cake for you. But it's
okay.
If you're that start all over again and you knew no one, Margie, you didn't know your kids, you didn't know your husband, you knew no one, what would you, but you had all your current knowledge, skills, and wisdom, what's the first thing you do or the first place you go to build a network marketing business from scratch?
So I would go to lists that I have of contacts and let that start.
Oh, you don't have any. You don't have any contacts.
Oh, I don't have any people.
You have zero. You're like an alien that went to another universe.
Okay, and there's no social media.
There's social media. Yep, but you have zero friends on social media. You have a brand new account. You don't know anyone. You're born today.
Okay, I would probably just go to a coffee shop and start talking to people and networking and ask them who they know and. I just go where people are and start talking to them. If I don't have any contacts on Facebook and I want to build a following, I would offer value. I would find something that I could give that could touch someone's life or make a difference for them and make it so authentic that I would really be polarizing people that are not mine and really gravitating to me, people that are mine, that my tribe would hear. So I would give, and I would get out and amongst people, and then I'd ask, who do you know? Who do you know that? Who do you know that? Who do you know that? Who do you know that's really entrepreneurial? Who do you know that's really into health and wellness? Who do you know? I'd ask people and make sure that even in those instances, I'm not making requests that are greater than what I've given. One of the principles in Wallace Waddell's Science of Getting Rich is that you want every person that crosses your path to be gifted with a feeling of increase. So everyone is better for having crossed your path, whether it's a smile to somebody walking down the sidewalk, a compliment to the person checking you out at the bank, or checking you out, checking you out at the grocery store, or checking you out, a compliment. Just whether it's a compliment or a kind word or a warm smile, a word of encouragement, like whatever it is, if you go into life with you do this, Simon, you leave everyone that crosses your path with a feeling of increase. And so however that is, you can't circumvent it from coming back to you. You can't. It's a law of the universe. So yeah, I'd find lots of ways to give, and I'd get myself out amongst people and give value.
Awesome. Hey, that's $1 million nuggets right there. Hey, as we wrap up, Margie, any last words of advice? And then what's the best way our listeners can connect with you?
So you can find me on Facebook, Margie Aliprandi, in Messenger. I guess it goes to filtered messages, so it might take a minute to get it. But yeah, if you're resonating with this idea of women's empowerment, go and request Women United for Change, the movement. Request an ad, and we'll add you to that group. You'll get a real sense of that. You can message me on Messenger. I just don't check email anymore. So I'm going to say through social media is probably the best way to find me. And I'm responsive.
MLM Nation, you're the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. And today you've been hanging out with network marketing legend, Margie Aliprandi. So keep up the momentum. Go to MLMNation.com and just go to the podcast tab in the show notes, and also the link where you can make a difference for empowered women will be right there. Or the show notes and the books, the ton of books that Margie recommended, her nuggets of wisdom, will be right on the show notes page. Hey, in order to be successful in network marketing and life, Margie, you have to help others. So thanks again for sharing your valuable time with MLM Nation. We're grateful to you, and we appreciate you for having a positive impact on millions of distributors worldwide. Thank you so much again, Margie, and God bless you.